Hello there and welcome to another episode of Dissertation Diaries. My name is Marty Scholes and I'll be your host for this evening. Today is Sunday, May 3rd, 2020. This has been an interesting week. This is a neat week where I've been working on my peer review certificate for Level 2 review. You might be asking, what is Level 2 review and what's a peer review certificate? Funny you should ask. I didn't know that either. I had to learn all that this week. My chair sent me a piece of paper last week or a document and said, fill this out. I did, sent it back. He wrote me back and said, hey, you're missing a bunch of pieces. I said, okay. So I worked on those this week. Monday, I went and worked on the site authorization template. Now, you're supposed to complete that before you submit for peer review. The challenge is I don't have a list of sites, nor can I until I start data collection. I don't know how that's going to be handled. My chair suggested I put together just a template instead of a regular approved site authorization form and just take it from there. I also had to put together a informed consent template, so I put that there. I put both those in my proposal, sent back the proposal, the peer review form. Everything's good. Tuesday, Wednesday, everything's fine. Thursday, I get a call back or an email from my chair. He said, hey, I need your certificates pasted into the peer review form. I said, all right, I'll look at that later. That night I looked at it. I didn't know what he was talking about. What certificates? So I wrote him. I said, what are you talking about? I don't know where to get these certificates. I don't have them. I thought I'd completed the training because I did all the training I was told to do. Turns out, no. There are 5 certificates, 5 courses, 5 modules. Each of them is 1 to 2 to 3 hours of work. I didn't know that either. So anyway, I said, hey, I don't know what you're talking about. Where do I get these certificates? Friday morning, he wrote me back and he said, here's where you get your certificates. And he gave me a screenshot. I said, all right, I'll look into it. And I did, and I realized it's a lot of work. I said, I'll get those to you this weekend. That's now my goal. It was Friday. Friday night, I finished what's called the Dissertation Ready Certificate. I read a bunch of stuff in there in that training, and I thought, man, this would have been nice to have known, I don't know, a year or two ago. Whatever. Here we are. Yesterday, on Saturday the 2nd, I went through and I did a bunch of certificates. Actually, I did 3 of them, took virtually all day. I did the Research Ready Introduction to Research Certificate, the Research Ready Literature Review Module Certificate. That one was a beast. Research Ready Quantitative Research Certificate. Got that done. Only had one left to do. Worked on that today. Today I did the Peer Review Ready Certificate. And then I pasted all of those certificates into the proposal. I took screenshots of those certificates and pasted those into the peer review document. Sent it off to my dissertation chair and said, here you go. Here are all the certificates that I have. In the process of all that training to get those certificates, I bumped into some cool stuff. One was a thing called Sage Research Methods, which is for quantitative studies, which is what I'm doing. It's a site that gives a breakdown. It has a taxonomy and a typology of all the different research methods and all the stuff that goes into them. A bunch of what they call green books, which are deep dives into a bunch of different types of research. For example, my 2 variables in my study are nominal, and I will be using a chi-square goodness of fit test. Hey, there's a green book that talks about some of that. I thought, this is really cool. A place I know I'm in trouble is on instrumentation. In fact, I believe my proposal will get rejected because of my instrumentation or lack thereof. You see, I didn't even know what that meant until very late in the game. I had my entire proposal put together, my methodology approach, and didn't have instrumentation. It wasn't until a month or 2 ago, maybe 3 months ago, I realized I had a problem there. No, it was last year, late last year. At any rate, I'm taking it to AQR. They're going to review it. I'm sure they're going to have problems with my instrumentation. I don't have a way out of this. I don't know what to do when they reject it. I've tried to find instrumentation. One of these books talked about sources of instrumentation and places to look, not just for instrumentation, but people who publish instrumentation. There's the Yearly Measurements Yearbook, or Mental Measurements Yearbook is one of them. And I knew about that, and I knew it had some instrumentation in there, but I didn't know it also had sources of additional instrumentation. I need to do a deep dive on that. At any rate, I spent an hour or two, about 2 hours on Sage research methods today, really digging into a lot of that. Found the book on instrumentation. And in case you don't know, instrumentation is a way you measure things. I'm sending a survey, a simple 2-question MailChimp or SurveyMonkey survey. It says, hey, in a recent merger and acquisition, which of these 3 choices most captures what you were trying to get done, what your intent was for the integration? And those 3 choices are based on peer-reviewed seminal work. I'm not making any of that up. Then there's another question that's very similar. It says, okay, looking back on the integration or the merger, what type of integration actually happened? Again, from peer-reviewed seminal stuff. That's all. Well, it turns out that's not a valid instrument. It hadn't been validated. It's not reliable or hadn't been verified for reliability. So I'm going to get in trouble. The challenge is there are no instruments that I can find that are even close to that. So I don't know what I'm going to do when AQR kicks this. AQR is peer review. It's academic quality review, I think is what AQR stands for. At any rate, I got all that done, put it in there, studied Sage research methods, read about instrumentation sources, even poked around in the Grand Canyon University Library, trying to find quantitative journals that were in my field. And I thought I read somewhere there's a checkbox you can do to drill down methodology. I didn't see it. I need to go back and look and try to figure out where that is and what that is. But I poked around. I tried to find it. I looked everywhere that I could think to look. Now I know more places to look. I don't think it's out there, but I want to exhaust that before I go. That's me. This week, just waiting to hear back on the peer review and the request for AQR. That's all I can do. Also have a job interview tomorrow and another one on Tuesday. And I've been grinding away at the job hunt. I continue to do that. I hope wherever you are, whenever you are, I hope things are going well for you and you're staying safe from coronavirus. Hopefully, by the time you watch this, the coronavirus will have blown over and we can get back to work as a country. Take care.